Hey everybody, let me adjust this camera right there. We go. Um, I was asked a question in one of my comments, and I'm just, ain't making a video for it. It's they asked when would be the time to start rationing food. Since the schools are closed down now here until April 3rd, you go to the grocery store. There's hardly any meats on the shelves. It's getting scarce. Me and the boys and the old lady sat down over the weekend and we talked about it. And I started rationing food this past weekend. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, then a snack before they go to bed. Um, because if you don't, you can have 2 years worth of food. But if you eat normal in this type of situation, just go in there and get you something to eat when you're hungry, you're going to run out of food. So, my advice, start rationing it now. Just have breakfast and lunch and dinner. Then if you get hungry and the kids are hungry before they go to bed, have a snack, or if there's any leftovers for dinner, reheat them, and just watch what you eat and how much you eat. Because I'd much rather be a little hungry now and then say a month from now, if this is still going on, I'll have the extra food on down the road. I don't eat it up right now because, oh, look, I got extra food. I got extra this. I'll just go in there and make me an extra can. Well, that extra can of soup you make now, you might not have it a month from now when you really need it. So start rationing your food now. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it because in the long run, you're going to have it when you need it if it does get worse. The stores they can't keep up. They cannot keep up with the demand of people going and wiping them out every day. Where I used to work at, they're out of food. They're out of a lot of stuff. And I'm glad I quit there because it's a madhouse. And I was taking a chance of possibly catching the coronavirus from dealing with the public. The money was good, but it wasn't worth my health. So it's, I don't know. And you watch any news, let it be on TV, let it be on the internet, it is changing day by day, hour by hour. Stock market, that's just being held up by puppet strings. It's just once these meat processing plants, where they make the hamburger meat, make the hot dogs, make the chicken and whatever, once they close down, there will be no meat on the shelf. Today, me and the boys are going fishing. We're going to, what we catch, we're bringing home, we're cleaning, we're wrapping it up in butcher's paper, taping it up, and I'm putting it in the freezer just for extra meat, extra meals. We might get tired of fish, but at least we have it. We have something in their stomach. I mean, you've got to admit it's getting bad because the kids are out of school now, and the school are bringing around Mondays and Thursdays like snacks with Pop Tarts, chips, milk, carrots, stuff like that to help the kids have food. I mean, my boys don't need it, but I'm like this. Okay, I'll play along. I'll stand in that line to get their food because that way nobody, I'm not the outcast. People's not, well, why is it he in the line? He must have food. So I'm going to play along. If it gets long, if they have a FEMA food line, to go pick up food. I don't care how much food I got. I'm going to get in that line and I'm going to get that food because two things. People knows going to see I'm in the same boat they are. And plus that gives me extra food for my boys. So there's a lot of things to think about and how to act when it's starting to get bad. And we haven't seen, me personally, I don't think we've seen the worst of it yet. I think it's going to get a lot worse. But I don't care if you got 20 years of food. If they're handing out free food, stand in line, act like you don't have any, act like you're worried, and get your food because you're putting yourself out there like, hey, he's in the same boat we are, so why go mess with him? And plus, it gives you extra food for your stock so you can eat this food and don't have to worry about getting into your preps. But food rationing, I would start now. Like I said, we already started over the weekend. We sat down. We have had a family talk. The boys understand. They see what's going on. They sat down and they listen to these news conferences with me and everything. They ask me questions and I explain to them. So they're not, to be 16, 11, and 7, they're pretty smart little boys. They're going to grow up to be fine young men. But they understand it's hard. Trust me, God, it is hard when they come up, hey, can I have a snack? I'm hungry. To say, no, won't you wait for lunch? Or why don't you wait for dinner? It's hard because they could be out playing, come through the door, getting a snack. Okay, I let them eat anytime they wanted to. But I don't know when the food's going to run out at the grocery stores. The government says, don't worry, food's going to be there. That means food's not going to be there, guys. So now this ain't no conspiracy theory. This ain't nothing like that. It's just, why eat up all your food now just because you have it? And later on down the road, you're going to regret eating it all up because you're not going to have it. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, a snack before bed. That's more food, that's more meals than some people in this world gets. And they don't have to be great, big, extravagant meals. I mean, you can, small meals, if need be. We're going to have to adjust. We're adjusting to what's going on, not going out, not gathering in groups, not going to concerts, not going to basketball games, not going to baseball. We're adapting to that. We have to adapt to limiting our intake of our food source so we don't eat it up and we have it when times really get bad. Like I said before, it's not trapping season here. Well, you can trap beaver, coyote, and a couple other things, all year round. But if things get really bad and there's no meat on the shelves, don't think I won't go trap, snare, and even hunt out of season to provide food for my boys. I would definitely do it. But that's on down the road. Hopefully, we won't get there. But like I said, today we're going fishing, And what we get, we're going to bring in, we're going to clean, we're going to wrap them up, we're going to put them in the freezer. And that's an extra food. I'd say right now, if you have time, go fishing. Get get you some butcher paper, get you some, wrap it up, put it in your freezer. That's just, it's not going to cost you anything, just your fishing license and some worms or whatever. But that's an investment you're making for yourself and for your family, because you know it's there. Because if it gets real bad and people see you going fishing, they're going to beat you in the head as you're coming back in with your fish, just so they can have that food, because they're too lazy or too stupid to go do it themselves. They're going to attack you. So, food rationing, yes, start rationing it now. That way you have it later on down the road. Any way you can get extra food, let it by standing in a line, a FEMA line, let it by standing, picking up food for extra food from the school for your kids. Do it. It's helping your family, and it's also giving the image, look, he's in the same boat we are. He don't have it to spare. So that's my opinion. Some people is going to say, oh, well, you're taking away from people who really needs it. No, I'm not. My boys need it to keep them going. So, that's the way I look at it. Yes, my boys need it, and they're top of the list in my book compared to little Johnny or little Susie next door. I could care less if they eat. I care about my boys eating first and foremost. That's the way I am. I've been that way in all my videos. I care about my boys eating first, and I will do anything to make sure there's food in their stomach. And people's going to realize this. Like a lot of people thought, oh, I was crazy for setting stuff back. Well, now look at me. I'm not crazy. Preppers are not crazy. Preppers are not cold-hearted. They just look after their family because they know times are coming. So, people can throw stones at me and judge me all they want. That's fine. But at the end, when my boys are fed and warm and taken care of, and they're not, their family's not, who's the winner? I can be judged, and I don't care. It don't bother me. I'm doing what I have to do to make sure my boys are taken care of. And if people don't like it, can't accept it, that's their problem. That ain't mine. But that's my advice. Start rationing your food. If you can go to a church and get food, you can go to a FEMA line and get food, you can go to when they're dropping off school food, stand in that line, get the extra food, because it's going to benefit your family. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's survival of the fittest when it comes down to this stuff. And I have plans of my boys surviving at any cost. Sorry this video is long, but a lot of you already know how I feel about what I'll do, to the lengths I'll do to provide for my family. And a lot of newcomers might shock them how I am. I'm a nice guy, but when it starts affecting my family, I won't be a nice guy. So, but you take my advice, don't take my advice, it's up to you guys. If you don't feel right, then don't do it, But don't cast stones on other people who would do it. Because we were given a brain, we were given a conscience. We just got to go with that. And in a SHTF situation, I have no conscience when it comes to providing for my boys. I would do anything I have to do. And that's probably most parents out there. Let's watch my video. Be safe, guys. And I hate to say it, get ready. It's going to get worse. Hopefully it gets better. Like I said, hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. Thank you guys for your comments, your views. I always love reading your guys' comments. I got a lot of good sub friends on here. I wish one day after all this goes away, we can all meet up somewhere and just have a weekend of getting to know one another. But until then, everybody be safe, be prepared, and just be careful. All right, bye for now, guys.